She stood there, her cheeks still burning from the slap. The sting drowned only by the laughter of 200 students, but when she finally looked up, something in her eyes silenced the crowd. And what she did next turned her humiliation into a global movement. Before you scroll, hit that subscribe button because stories like this aren't just entertainment. Dorothy thought she was weak. Just another quiet girl with secondhand shoes and books that smelled like a library's attic. Someone who sat at the back of the class, hoping the world wouldn't notice her but the moment. Kayla James got slapped across the face in front of the entire student body during the spring assembly. Something inside her cracked, not with defeat, but with a fire that would turn her name into a legend. The slap came from Brielle and Tessa, the notorious queen bees of Redwood High. Two influencers. Training with daddy, funded Instagram followers, and enough entitlement to think humiliation was sport. And they had done it slapped her because she had bumped into them on stage while retrieving her forgotten journal. A bump so small it wouldn't have shaken a feather, but for girls like them. Disrespect was a crime punishable by public degradation. And so when Kayla turned to apologize, Tessa sneered, called her a disease, and slapped her so hard her glasses flew off. Followed by Brielle's second hit that left the whole gymnasium gasping not out of horror, but out of shock that someone, so beneath the social food chain, had dared enter their airspace. Kayla lay on the polished gym floor, her breath stuck in her throat. The sound of mocking laughter like a hurricane above her, teachers frozen, the principal awkwardly coughing but not intervening, and even the student council president looking down as if he didn't just witness an assault but, in that moment. As silence settled like dust and 200 smartphones recorded her shame, Kayla slowly stood up, blood at the corner of her lip, hair wild, eyes burning, and instead of crying, instead of running, instead of breaking like they expected, she smiled not. The sad, defeated smile of a broken girl, but the sharp, steady smile of someone who knew something no one else did, and then she said one word, enough. Asterisk, the gym went dead silent, because something about the way she said it made people lean in. And without a word to the administration, Kayla walked to the microphone still hot from the student president's speech, adjusted it with a click, and spoke, her voice shaking at first, then rising like a storm, telling the crowd not just what happened now, but what had been happening for years. The whispered names, the lockers shoved, the cruel social media posts, the teachers who ignored it, the friends who stood by and said nothing. And as she spoke, students shifted, some lowered their phones, some started crying. And some, those who had their own scars, began to stand in solidarity. And when she finished, Kayla took out her journal, opened to a page titled, Things in Disguise.